Governor Gavin Newsom allowed us to inspect his most recent tax returns. It's the first time he's done this in 4 years.
This comes as he and his wife are apparently the targets of a U.S. Department of Justice investigation and as he's considering a run for president. KCRA 3 was the only TV organization to review these records. Our political director, Ashley Zavala, looked through hundreds of pages of documents. So, Ash, what are the main takeaways here?
Edie, well, first, let me just lay out the ground rules in order to go through any of this. We could not take photos. We couldn't make photocopies or take video of these documents. We could just record information with pen and paper. We were provided with tax returns for the governor and his wife for years 2021 through 2024. They filed their taxes jointly. 2025 was not available because the Newsoms filed for an extension. This was 718 pages total worth of documents. So just first, the takeaways. The Newsoms are still multimillionaires, which they have been for years because of investments and Newsom's wine and hospitality business. That's mostly all in blind trusts. Their income over the years has averaged about $2 million a year, according to these tax returns overall. A big boost came in 2021 when they sold their Marin County home, which earned them an extra $1.5 million that year. Now, one of the bigger takeaways in the bigger picture of all of this with the U.S. Department of Justice investigation, the income the Newsoms bring in from Jennifer Siebel Newsom's nonprofit organizations make up a small, if not tiny, fraction of their income, about 10%. One of them, Girls Club Entertainment, has actually been losing money for the last 3 years. With her other nonprofit, the Representation Project, Siebel Newsom pays herself about $150,000 a year from that. Also, their income has actually decreased since Newsom became governor. These latest tax returns show there's been an 18% decline in their reported income since 2019. To put that into numbers, for example, their taxable income in 2019 was $1.7 million. In 2024, it was $1.39. On California Politics 360, our panel of experts is weighing into this weekend. I asked them, do these tax returns provide a full picture of their benefits and their wealth?
Absolutely not. I've worked with candidates who are very, very wealthy, and they release their tax returns, and I've had reporters sit there and say, well, where's all the money? What do they pay taxes on? Well, you know, no surprise to the general public out there, wealthy people have their money all over the place, and it's not necessarily reflected all the time in income taxes, and there's other ways in which to get that information out there or to ask about it, but the full picture is not always painted by what's on your tax returns.
Chris, do personal tax returns show like the full picture of how these two benefit?
No, because remember, just by its name, an income tax return shows income. Many wealthy individuals, their wealth is in assets, their holdings, whether it's stock, real estate, property, etc. So this is just the income that they're receiving. But keep in mind that the governor, just like all local and state elected and appointed officials, every year have to file what we call a Form 700, a statement of economic interest that describes in greater detail those assets, not just their income. So there is information available on the assets of the governor and other office holders.
Now, the Newsoms paid a federal tax rate between 30 to 35%. They also paid hundreds of thousands of dollars in state taxes in that 4-year period. The governor's office tells us they don't have any money in crypto. They also don't have any foreign bank accounts.
People may be wondering why release all this information right now.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on who you ask in terms of that answer. The governor has promised to release these, even though state law really doesn't require him to at this point, since he's no longer running for governor of California. One of our panelists did say the governor wants to be president, and other presidential candidates have already done this. They've already released the returns for the recent years that the governor has released this week. So, I mean, that's another answer. So, yeah.
All right, Ashley, thank you.